guys, wanted to do a quick couple things that I've had on my mind, sort of Friday wrap-up video, talk about the books I've read this week. I've actually had a really good week reading, 4 audiobooks, 1 physical book, finished this week. So wanted to talk about something that kind of has been on my mind. I have trouble with being energetic with my reviews when I film them at like 10:30 at night. Right now it's 9:30. I'm still in a pretty good mood. I'm still pretty upbeat. But I've noticed that when I do a review late at night, I look tired, and I may not look like I'm enjoying myself. Something that I want to try to avoid. So I've had a couple people comment on the 2 reviews I've done in the truck during the day at work, on my lunch break usually. One of them was on my lunch break. One of them was actually right after work. I got done with the day and I just felt like filming a video. The evening and the morning, that's posted above if you want, in the description as well. Also the Crystal Shard. So look at those reviews, and then I'll post a review where I'm really tired. I'll look through them and see which one, and kind of you can look at my energy level. And so I'm going to work on better energy level for videos. So you may see a few more videos filmed in the work truck, just because I'm full of energy at that time. I'm doing my job. I'm, pumping and ripping and roaring and going. And so it may be a good time for me to talk about what I've been reading, especially if it's like an audiobook that I just finished. It's fresh in my mind, but I do want to take better notes when I do reviews as well. Something I've noticed is when I ramble, I don't feel like I get the things talked about that I want to talk about. If I at least do bullet points, I at least talk about those things that I want to talk about. Some videos, I just do a summary, and I'm like, talking about it, and I just did the summary, and, but I didn't really talk about what I thought about the book. Try to avoid that. Want to really express my thoughts and opinions and create talking points where you guys can talk to me in the comments. So I'm going to work harder on that. Also, I'm going to go with a more spoiler-heavy review. Not like fully spoil books, but kind of hint at some things. I feel like when I do non-spoiler reviews, I'm not doing you guys the service that I need to do. And I don't enjoy doing those videos as much, because I feel like a non-spoilery review is the same thing you get from a back cover of a book. And I didn't want to do that when I started the channel, but I realized that I was following numbers. People, when you say, hey, I'm going to do slight spoilers, they click off, and it hurts your views. Well, I'm not really here for that. I'm not the kind of guy who plans on growing to 10,000 or 20,000 or 40,000 subscribers. I want to be the guy who has conversations about books with other people who enjoy books. And if that keeps me small, that keeps me small. Hopefully I find the people who enjoy that kind of thing and want to talk about that kind of thing. So that's what I plan to do. A little bit more spoiler review. But I'll do like series reviews that are like kind of non-spoilery, I like the should you read idea that I did, and I think a couple people have kind of picked that up. And so I like the idea of a should you read. I never saw anybody doing it until I started it. And I think it's a cool idea, and I'm glad that people are picking up on it and kind of running with it. I didn't want it to just be something I did. I like the idea of people sharing an idea. So let's go into books read, so I don't take this video too long. I'd like to stay 10 minutes or less. First book I got done this week was Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. It was an audiobook. I blazed through that in like 2 days. Tons of people were waiting on it. I'll do a review on it, kind of a rant review, because I've got some big problems that I didn't notice the first time around that I really just want to discuss and talk about and see if I'm the only one that feels this way, or if the main group of fans are just like, dude, it's Harry Potter, stop criticizing it, or if I can just say, if I wrote this, I would have done these things and made this book better in so many different ways. I still love the book. I think it's a good book, but the angle she took at it, I think, could have been done in such a better way. And I think her writing as a whole, if she would have sat down and planned the 7 books in actual plan, she could have done so much more and so much better. But she didn't. I think every idea was fresh as she was doing it, which led to a lot of decisions that were made throughout the story. All right, second book. I physically read this one. This was Crystal Shard. Took me a little bit longer, but at 300 pages of just fun, I really enjoyed it. Did a review. You can watch it up above. Also, the car reviews that I was talking about, Crystal Shard and Evening in the Morning, I'll link them both in the description and above. Those are ones I did in the car. So check those out, see what you think. But the Crystal Shard is the Forgotten Realms and Icewind Dale #1, Legend of Driss #4, because there's kind of a prequel trilogy. I'll talk about that in a review. But it is so much fun. It's YA for, I think, based on a more young men audience, but girls can enjoy it. And then also read Cinder, which is YA based more for girls, but boys can enjoy. It was not really my cup of tea. It's not bad. I'm not saying it's bad, but it was very, very predictable. And some of the points that were emphasized are things that I cannot relate to. So I didn't enjoy it as much. But I don't want to say a 35-year-old man is the audience for this. I'm not. I wasn't. I just thought I'd check it out to see if it would be appropriate for my daughter sometime in the future. And I think she would love it when she's 12, 13, 14 years old. So I would definitely recommend it to her. But if adult men probably aren't going to enjoy this. I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it. And then John Adams. Fantastic, fantastic book. I'm currently watched the first episode in the miniseries. Paul Giamatti does a great job on that. First live stream for that one, we're probably looking at second week in April. That will be a Thursday evening at 9. I will get you a specific date, maybe even put it right here, and then I will post it in the Discord for where we're all talking about it. I know a couple people, I wanted to give people a little extra time on it, so I went month and a half on the first one. I will probably kind of go a month and a half on this one too, just because biographies sometimes can be dry. McCullough writes a great biography. His was not dry at all. I think, some people talk about how they're just flying through it. I flew through it. But do not, when you do the audiobook, get the abridged version. It's not as good. All of a sudden, you got the male narrator, and then a female narrator comes in, kind of summarizes, and skips half a chapter to almost a whole chapter and half of the next chapter. It is really, really jarring when you're trying to follow along in the book, taking notes so that you can talk about it on a live stream, and they skip entire chapters. And you have to go back and physically read that chapter. Man, you could look in the Discord. I was getting pissed. Not something I was enjoying at all. But the book is great. Even the annotated version is great. So they literally script all of George Washington's presidency. 8 years that they just go, and George Washington was president, and they move on to when he was president. Crazy. All right, and last book, I finished it 5 minutes ago, was Golden Sun, book 2 of the Red Rising series. We follow Darrow and his ascent into the Golds, what he's doing as a Gold in the society where Golds rule. Man, the twists and turns, the way this book, it just had me, I couldn't put it down. I could not put it down. Wow. You're going to get a spoiler-filled review on that one, for sure, coming up very soon, because, man, holy cow, what a good book. All right, next, let's go into, I talked about the first live stream. That will probably be second week in April, Thursday, 9 p.m. Last Sunday of March, 4 p.m. Eastern Time, both of these. We're going to do the final live stream for the Lost Fleet series. If we want to, we will move into the next series that Jack Campbell did, which is technically in the same universe, but it is a completely new series. This is the 6th book in the series of the first Lost Fleet. We are almost done. I am one chapter in, personally. I don't know about everybody else at the moment, but end of the month, we will do that live stream. It should be fun. Anybody who wants to join, hop on in. Even if you haven't read the book, hop on in. I don't care. And then I want to do, maybe thinking about a possible channel rebrand. Could be a name change, could be a logo change. Don't know how I feel about it just yet, but I've realized that I'm gaining a favorite animal. When we went to Rocky Mountain National Park, end of last year and the first of this year, we went to Zion Mountain National Park and Death Valley National Park. I found that a bighorn sheep, a male bighorn sheep, a ram, Ramsey, ram, you get it, is becoming my favorite animal. And I have not seen one in person. I've seen them on videos, and I think they're cool looking, and I really, really, really wanted to see one. And I was so heartbroken that I didn't get to see one when we were at these national parks. But I found this sticker, and I put it on my water bottle. I just want something like that. Not necessarily this, but something like that. And then I could put my original logo in one of his eyeglasses. And then maybe a book or a bookshelf or a library or something. Or, a knight holding a sword, or, I don't know, something cool. Or maybe, I don't know, something. but the original logo was a raven with a crown on it, and that was a baby book I found when I was a teenager, and it was Ramsey is King or Lord of the Ravens. And then I read the Wheel of Time, and Matt becomes Lord of the Ravens or Prince of the Ravens, or I can't remember exactly. I have to do that reread. Um, so it like got even cooler, and so I was like, I hung on to it for years. I wanted to get a raven with a crown tattoo on my chest for the longest time, like a very vibrant, like black and white raven with a vibrant golden crown. Like I thought that looked really cool. Um, so I went on Fiverr and paid $20 for somebody to make me this logo way back when. And then my name for the channel was Ramsey and Jack. I wanted to name my first son Jack. So when I was doing save games way back when you weren't playing online gaming, you had to have a save game file. So I had Ramsey as one, and then when I went to do like a second save game file, I started using Jack. Well, then sometimes I needed a third one, so I just put the two names together and shortened them. So it was Raja. Well, that turned into Raja, and I didn't really realize it, so I shortened it to Raj. Um, and it kind of felt Indian, but you know, it was me personally. I was playing just by myself. Nobody knew what I was doing, and so when I had to create an online persona, I did Rajathon, like a marathon or a walkathon or a telethon, or I don't know. I thought you would want a whole bunch of me, right? I thought it'd be funny. Um, I thought people would get it. They don't really get it. And so when you type in Rajathon, you get a lot of Indian stuff when you go into YouTube. That's very a prevalent name in their culture. Understand it. So I may do something, I don't know, Rajathon Reads or Hang Out and Read with Ramsey, or I don't know. Maybe. Not sure about the name change, but the logo change might happen. Might actually pay a good bit of money and get a really good artist to draw me up something. So that may come in the future. We'll see. Let me know what you guys think about that. Give me some comments on if you think the name needs to go or you like the idea of a new logo. You know, when I do some videos, I may do some B-roll footage. We're doing some gardening out in the backyard, cleaning out the garage, doing a bunch of stuff around the house. Might be fun to do some B-roll. Maybe some B-roll of some of the trips we've taken recently. We're trying to do more trips for our children, which will be a lot of fun. Instead of giving them like gifts and having a bunch of stuff, taking them on experiences. So I may do some of that B-roll. Not the kids in it. We're trying to keep the kids off the internet as much as possible. That's why my Instagram's private and stuff like that. But yeah, just kind of channel life update stuff. And next review will be a rent review for Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. I will try to have that out Sunday. This will be Friday's video, and we will see you guys very, very soon. Bye.